right? Hey, what's going on to you, Leos? So you have the Strength card, the Two of Swords, and you have the Page of Wands. So immediately, the Strength card, which is Leo, this right here is the major arcana for your zodiac sign. So what I'm seeing here for you, Leos, is that this right here is ultimately about how a lot of you, Leos, are showing restraint and showing world-class discipline when it comes to how things have been, how your life has been over the past couple of months. You know, the fact that you, Leos, could have really have wilded out, said something to really have people feel truly disrespected, and you, Leos, decided to not say or do anything that was too crazy, that would have really had some people decide that they don't want to associate themselves with you anymore, right? Because it was just that disrespectful. And Leo can compete when it comes to Virgo or Gemini. When it comes to joking and clowning, the Leo can compete. Trust me, I know a couple of Leos. So, like I said before, the way that you, Leos, have been conducting yourselves ultimately is world class. The Two of Swords, you've been allowing other people to show you what type of quality person they are, and for the most part it's not very high quality, because all it is that these people can show you is they would rather ignore what's they would rather ignore, sorry about that, what how they've hurt you, how they've disrespected you, right? So, you know, the exes would rather ignore this. They would rather sit there and act like, you know, when you, Leos, want respect and everything and you want reciprocation, they sitting up there trying to make it seem like they can't understand the fine art of reciprocation, right? Yo no comprende. They have no comprehension as to how reciprocation even works. So as a result of this, they're really in a situation where, like I said, they're just trying to bury their head in the sand. And the thing is that the Page of Wands represents, somewhere along those lines, a lot of you Leos, within the past couple of months, I want to say at the beginning of the year up until now, this has been a very big transitional year. Now, granted, 4 years or leap years are always huge. Like we remember what happened back in 2020. All of the madness and the chaos and the crazy stuff was happening back in 2020. That was what? That was 4 years ago. 4 years later, from 2020 to 2024, now we're in a very good disposition where what happens? You're seeing a lot more craziness, you see. So, and this is something that my mom always tells me. She always says, leap years are always where craziness is what happens. What happened in 2016? Barack Obama. You dig what I'm saying? Barack Obama was still president then. Right? What happened in 2012? Barack Obama was still president then, if I'm not mistaken. Right? He got elected. Barack Obama got elected in 2008. The later half of 2008, if I'm not mistaken, or the beginning of 2008. And then he served for 2 terms. So every time you have a leap year, you always have some craziness going on, more than the other odd number years or an even number years. Every 4 years is always some craziness. So why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this to say that this leap year, because this is a leap year, has been very profound for you Leos, in the sense that there's a lot of you Leos are willing to a lot of you Leos are burying your head in the sand. Not burying your head in the sand, not burying your head in the sand. You're unwilling to. Sorry about that. I got a lot to say, so it just comes out a little bit jumbled sometimes. I'm sorry about that. You're not burying your head in the sand. Okay? Let me make it clear. So because you're not burying your head in the sand, you've come to light on a lot of different things that essentially surprised you, that you realized you actually have to take care of. So why that's important in the first place is because the Page of Wands, it's made you Leos a lot better individuals because of it. The things that you have had to essentially confront is the relationship dynamics that you have, regardless of whatever it is. Because you're truthful to yourself, you're not burying your head in the sand, you're actually paying attention to how people receive you, they interact with you, they respond to you, they interact with you. What is the interaction like? Is it good? Is it auspicious? Or it's always from a perspective where the person has a problem with you. They're supposed to be your friend, but they're inconsistent with friendship. Is the friendship real? Is the relationship real? And so, because you Leos have been able to confront certain truths and learn to be by yourself, confronting those truths when you're not around anybody. The Ace of Swords and the High Priestess represents your mind has become a lot sharper. Very sharp in the sense that you're able to now sniff out what are people's hidden intentions towards you. A lot of you Leos are now a lot more accessibly able to understand when somebody really doesn't have your back like that, because you Leos are able to peep out how unwilling people are who try to gain your trust, but they're not actually trying to really contribute anything. They're trying to be useless to you. But then they want you to be the grand master on either side, to be an ultimate tool, like an ultimate way to fix anything in their life, the ultimate utility. And a lot of you Leos know that that's bogus. And there's a sense of a lot of you Leos are not going for the allowing yourselves to be used as pawns. And that is a part of what makes a person kingly or royally, queenly, right? Royally or royal, because what happens when a pawn gets to the opposite end of the chess piece? They become a queen. Right? They become royal. Why? Because the chessboard is the journey of life. They get into the end, not necessarily at the end of their life, but at the end of going through trials and tribulations and going through nonsense, to the point where you stop letting life and other people and the chaos that life and other people have to bring play around with you, to where you start actually taking control of said life. So now the Knight of Swords right here represents, so since a lot of you Leos have been doing this awakening, right, this realizing that, you know, people will play with you if you allow them to, it's this sense of how you Leos are choosing now to actually take more responsibility and to start taking your power back. If I'm being honest, your power back. The Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Swords, and to allow the burden of how people treat you to be theirs, to be their own. And what I mean by that is, you get to know other people, they feel like they want to play like they too fancy for you, just stay away from them. Because they're doing themselves in. It's not you. You're not doing anything to them. You're allowing them to be dysfunctional to their own self. See, dysfunctional people need other healthy people to be around. Otherwise, they will get swallowed under or taken over by their own dysfunction. They will put themselves in danger for with their own stupidity. So they need responsible people, that's you Leos, to be around them, to be like, oh no, don't be like that. Don't get on like that. So now the King of Swords and the Six of Cups right here represents how the Six of Cups represents expect past partners to come back, to reach back out, to see what's up, to ask what's going on with you Leos again. And the King of Swords represents you Leos are not going for it, because you Leos have grown so much to the point where you don't even see the value in talking to this person who strives to be a nobody, who doesn't want to do anything for themselves, this learned helplessness. A lot of you Leos aren't going for that. And that's the same thing that I've been saying for the longest time about when I clown people a little bit when it comes to the not wanting to read books and all of this stuff, like this learned helplessness, this ideology of like somebody is supposed to come in and save me, and I don't want to try my hand at life. I don't want to take the baton, you know. I just want to remain helpless and imbecilic my whole life and not do anything or whatnot. I be clowning people for that on this page. I clown people for that because because if you can help yourself, you should do so. You should, I mean, my gosh, you should do so. You should want to do so. This ideology of wanting to be as helpless as possible, and then when somebody else, you know, isn't helpless, and then when they end up like interacting and bumping heads with the person who chooses not to be helpless, what kind of delusional nonsense is this? And then trying to make it seem like the person who chooses not to be helpless, you know, because of the fact that you Leos chose not to be helpless and not to be a loser or a bum while you're in a relationship with somebody or whatnot, they expect you to be only the responsible one. There's a certain part of the relationship where comes down to handling business together as a relationship. And what I mean when I say handling business, I'm talking about examples of this is like saving money, buying a car, buying a house, when bills need to be paid, when things need to actually happen. Though that shows responsibility. This is where I said before, all this 50-50 stuff comes from. Because all relationships, all healthy relationships are 50-50. They can put whatever title they want to put on. They want to put traditional, they want to put this, that, and the third. They could go ahead and put whatever kind of name on it as much as they want to. There's not an exception to this. Every relationship is 50-50. The only kind of relationships that are not 50-50 are parasitic ones, because one party does all the work while the other party assumes the role of helplessness. They don't help. They don't do anything. They're not versed. They're not skilled. They don't know what. So guess what though? 50. Guess what though? All relationships are 50-50 because both sides need to be skilled. Even if one side is not paying all the bills, but one side still knows how to manage the household correctly and do their duties to contribute, everything else to contribute to the relationship, that's the 50. So it is factually 50-50. Think about it, Leo. The only relationships that are not 50-50 are the ones where it's like, well, I'm not doing anything. So the person needs to cook, clean, pay all the bills, go to work, come back, take care of the little ones. I'm not going to do anything but shop. That's not 50-50. Because there's no effort being put in here. There's no sweat equity being put in. What do you call that if it's not parasitic? What do you call that? You just said it in your head, Leo. It's parasitic. So why that's important in the first place is because you Leos are not going for that. This person, this ex is going to contact you, and you ain't even answering the phone because you Leos have done so much self-development in that sense. You've matured mentally on that sense, emotionally on that sense. This person does nothing for you. And I'm not talking about from a transactional standpoint. I'm talking about it from a standpoint of this person is not a responsible adult for you to be able to take them seriously, like, which is what the reading is about. So why would you take them seriously enough to date? So let's clarify some of these cards. Let's clarify the Six of Cups. Five of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Temperance, Four of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. So to clarify the Six of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, and the Three of Wands, this person is going to try to flip it around like, why would you Leos leave them? But you Leos left them because they are lazy bums. And they're coming back to you looking for a handout because they know that you particularly stand out as responsible, where their other dating choices are not very responsible. But according to them, they were fun. Air quotes. So why that's important in the first place is the Temperance, the Four of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles right here represents how a lot of you Leos as well, you know better. You're not stupid. You're not slow. You've been experiencing what I mean these past couple of years. You know what I'm talking about. You know when someone is not really ready to actually grow up and be responsible. But then they're just waiting. They're just waiting for another person to do all the work for them. While they kick their feet up and sit on their butt and do nothing. Rubbing their feet together. The Queen of Pentacles, and they'll tell you things too that you Leos need to know. They'll tell you things like, when this person contacts you, they're going to try to tell you how important you are to them. They may even stoop so low to tell you how much they love you. But you Leos can't take them seriously because a person who doesn't have honor and integrity will and can say anything, including the L word, love. So don't take them seriously. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. There's a link in the comment section below called a Linktree link. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website where there's all the ways to get a personal reading from me, birth chart readings, as well as the books that I have that are on Amazon. Thank you.